What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody's had an excellent week. The weekend's actually been nice in New Jersey. We got sun, so no rain complaints today. The NFL draft is a couple weeks away, and things get really interesting in the NFL now as there are so many smokescreens out there. Agents are releasing stories, teams are releasing stories, and you really don't know what to believe. Mock drafts are all over the place, and everybody gets consumed in that, and the accuracy rate of those are probably 25%. But shout out to those that do this all day long, arguing about mock drafts, because I give you credit, man. I don't have the energy for that. But the most interesting thing for the Jets is their draft strategy. As this entire offseason, Joe Douglas has been getting a lot of credit, but he's made a lot of win-now moves for a win-now team. So when you enter the draft, are you looking for best player available that can help you short-term, best player available that can help you long-term? Like, what's your strategy here? And it's fascinating because at pick number 10, they're going to be in a conundrum with a couple players. And you could see already, based on how this can all play out, what's going to be on the table for them. So obviously the Jets, the biggest priority this offseason was address the offensive line, and they've done that for the time being. Now, Tyron Smith, 1-year deal. Morgan Moses, 1 year left on that. So if a quality tackle falls to you at 10, do you say, you know what? We're going to draft a guy here, but we know he's not going to play. He's not going to start this year. He may play at some point, but this could be like a year to develop, grow, learn from two excellent players in Moses and Smith. If he plays, great. If he doesn't, we're not worried about it because this is about the future. Or you could say, you know what? We have concerns about the durability of Tyron Smith, Morgan Moses coming off a pec injury, getting a little bit older, that, you know what? We can bring him in. There's a good chance he's going to play. We want that quality insurance and a young, promising player, instead of looking at free agency, where I still would sign David Bakhtiari or somebody else. But if they could say, you know what, this is going to be our quality depth signing with an eye towards the future. Same thing with wide receiver. The Jets obviously have Garrett Wilson, but you have Mike Williams coming off a significant injury, and we honestly don't know when he's going to be ready to play. You can say he can be ready for training camp all we want, or week one. All it takes is one minor setback to change that timeline. And then your wide receiver group gets a little interesting because I don't have a lot of faith in Lazard. You have no idea. I mean, Brownlee and Gibson are nice stories, but you want legitimate pass catchers, good route runners that Aaron Rodgers can have faith in. So do you say, you know what, we have to, at this point, we need the best receiver available at 10 as an insurance policy for Mike Williams, where he can help you this year, and also if Williams doesn't come back next year, we have our guy next year. And that's the thing for Joe Douglas. It's like he's got to act like a general manager that's going to be here for a few more years, but knowing in the back of his mind, if the team doesn't win this year, he's going to be gone next year. Interesting, right? The same thing with the Bowers thing with tight end, like where, according to some, he's a generational talent. According to others, he's completely overhyped. Is he a piece of the puzzle that can help you this year and going forward? Like, can Aaron Rodgers utilize his athletic ability and all his prowess on the field to maximize his offense even more? Or is he kind of a luxury item where we're like, we have Conklin, we feel comfortable with him. You have Ruckert developing. How do you handle Bowers? So to me, the strategy is going to be really, really interesting. I guess my personal perspective is I want as many explosive playmakers as humanly possible to maximize this Aaron Rodgers experience. Now, obviously, you can say, well, listen, if you don't protect him, he's not going to throw the ball. And I get that. But I have concerns where you're one Garrett Wilson injury away from having an enormous amount of problems on offense. Now, that could be just me being just negative and cynical. I don't know. So then the other question is, at 10, do you take, let's say the third tackle available as opposed, your third best tackle available as opposed to your second best wide receiver? That's an organizational decision. Or do you say, you know what, at this point, let's look to trade back? And that's kind of where, I guess, for me, the perfect world is, because not having a second round pick makes this very difficult. Where if you take that chance on number 10 and a guy that's a guy that you know is not going to contribute this year, a guy that's going to be a backup offensive lineman, then you're waiting to the third round to potentially find a guy that's going to contribute this year as an offensive playmaker. Now, you could address that by going out and signing Beckham. I know there's rumors he's going to Miami. Tyler Boyd's still out there. You can still add other veteran wide receivers. But if you go just guys not going to play in round 1, round 2, you don't have a pick, and then you got to count on round 3 to start getting your diamonds in the rough or guys that have potential. It could be a little raw. That's risky. So for me, I really want a playmaker in round 1. I just think this team needs it. It's It's just how I feel about this based on what we've seen in the past with the offense struggling, and you have all these defenses that are going to work their asses off to take Garrett Wilson out of your game plan. Then you go after Breece Hall and stuff like that. So for me, let me know what your philosophy is. The Jets still have some holes. I know they lost Justin Hardy. I think they have faith in Irv Charles as a gunner. But you'd like to see Ashton Davis come back. You need some depth at safety. You need a backup running back. I prefer a backup running back to be a veteran. You need offensive line help. You need wide receivers. You need a bunch of pieces here. I'm guessing that free agency will be kind of quiet now until after the draft. And then teams will say, okay, we didn't get what we wanted in the draft. Now let's address it in third wave of free agency or fourth wave, whatever this is at this point. So let me know what you guys think. What's your philosophy? What's your ideal pick at 10? I know the next couple weeks are going to be wild. And I'll talk to you guys later.